How are we all today? So this is a requested video. My mate Claire's asked for me to do this one. I'm talking about concealers today, and some concealers that I like and use in my kits and that I've got that might be a good starting point if you're getting into makeup, or you're trying to build a little kit up for yourself, or you just want to practice and you know, sometimes the cheaper lower end is good for practicing on. But I'm going to show you some concealers that I like, that I use. I'm going to show you a brush that I like to work my concealers with, and I'll get on to talking to you about colour correcting as well with concealer. So dark circles, common thing I see quite a bit, and obviously a dark circle is quite blue in undertone, so when we're working with anything that we want to correct, we refer to what we call the colour wheel. And on the colour wheel, anything that sits opposite is going to work. So if you're trying to counteract what we call blue in undertone, which a dark circle is, we would use something with an orange undertone. Okay, and this is Peggy Sage again. They are featuring in everything I'm doing. This is my absolute favourite. And I buy these, I probably buy a couple at a time. I've got one on the go at the minute, that one. And then when this is its backup. This is their basically anti dark circle concealer in beige rose. They do two different colours. They do another one which is a bit more beige, but I prefer this one for counteracting the blueness of a dark circle. And this is by, as I say, Peggy Sage Code. So I love it for a reason, because it doesn't sit in lines and wrinkles. So if I'm working with a more mature client, then it just doesn't sit. It just sits really, really nice. So that is one I really, really like working with. So it's Peggy Sage Code. And then going on to Peggy Sage as well, they've got a really good concealer. I've not got much of this left. I need to do an order, really. And this is their Luminous Skin concealer. Now, this is like, I showed you their Luminous Skin foundation on a video last week. This is the concealer that goes with that brand, or that range. And this one's a really, really nice one. It just again, it's very like this. It doesn't sit in lines and wrinkles, which is usually the problem when you reveal makeup to somebody. They'll notice this because it probably bothers them. Oh, it's sitting. And I just find it doesn't, especially as well as I'll work with a brush like this, which is my one. If I just put a little bit of concealer on me, actually, go with this one. This is the NYX one. And then if you work with something a bit more fluffy, it just brightens, and it doesn't sit in those pesky lines and wrinkles. Could do my nose as well, but using something a little bit fluffier than a conventional flat one, you just get a better, more diffused finish to it. I'll do for now. So that's the Peggy Sage one. I really, really like it. It doesn't sit. So there are two. You've got the colour correcting one, and then the Luminous Skin, which is just brilliant. Another favourite one of mine is the NYX Can't Stop it's NYX, isn't it? Not NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop. Again, really, really good for concealing underneath the eye, down the nose as well, and it just doesn't sit in the lines and wrinkles that could be there. You know, I'm starting to see them a little bit more. So there you go. NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop. So a bit of an industrial strength one is this one, which is from It Cosmetics, and it's called Bye Bye Under Eye. You could use it under the eye, but you know, I conceal my nose because say like if my skin is good and I'm having a really good skin day and I don't particularly want to wear too much in the way of foundation, but I just want to conceal the redness of my nose, then I use this, even though it says Bye Bye Under Eye. I really like it to cover my horrible red nose. Just to take that redness away. It's very strong, this stuff. It's quite full coverage. It's waterproof and it doesn't budge. And that's why I like to use it on my nose, because I don't want, I need to just put a bit of bronzer on my nose. I just don't want the redness of my nose to sort of shine through, because it does if I don't conceal. But even when my skin is good, I've always got this flipping red nose. Better bit of colour on my nose. So yeah, that's a really, really good one. If you're looking for something that's pretty industrial strength. I've used it underneath my eyes as well. You just have to make sure you buff it a little bit more than you might need to do with these, because it is quite thick. Like this one, you don't need to buff as much, but this one you do. But it doesn't budge. So that's your Bye Bye Under Eye. Just because it says under eye doesn't mean you can't use it elsewhere. You might have a blemish here or there, and you like a more fuller coverage. Like I say, I prefer something more strong on the nose area of my face. Right, okay. So that's concealers pretty much covered. 3 of my favourites, the NYX, this It Cosmetics one, if you're looking for something a little bit thicker and you want a bit more coverage. And I've talked to you about colour correcting as well. One thing I did want to talk about, and concealer is used quite a bit in makeup now, where makeup artists use it to blank out their eyes. And the reason they do this is if they're working with cut creases, or they're doing like quite strong makeup looks. Like the makeup look that I did, not yesterday but the day before, was quite strong, and I wanted the colours to be as true as I could possibly get them. And I wanted it to stay. Not that it did, because my hay fever made it stay for about an hour. But basically, you want to have a really good base that your pigments and your colours can go on top of. And I see it all the time on Instagram or wherever, where you see makeup artists using like a yellow undertone. I just see yellow undertone far too much at the minute used on people that aren't yellow in undertone. They're using like a yellow undertone concealer to block the colour of the eyeshadow out. And what you're doing by using a yellow undertone is actually changing the colour of the actual eyeshadow. So you're not getting the truest colour of what it is in that palette. If you were to switch that, so if you were to block out the eyes with, say, a pink undertone, you would get the true colours of the pigments that you're working with. So that's just one to and I picked that up from P. Louise actually, because they've got this eye base which is incredible, and I used to have it in my kit, and they basically put it up on their video that don't use a yellow undertone to block the eye out with. Make sure you use something with a pink undertone, which theirs is in formula. Their original one is in formula, because it allows the pigments to be as true as they possibly can be. So that's just something to think about. A good cheap one if you're starting out, or you've got a teenage daughter that wants a good concealer, then this is a great one. This is from Revolution. This is their Conceal and Define. So if anybody's looking for something, or you've got a young daughter who's avid makeup lover, then this one's a really, really good concealer, and it's not expensive, from Revolution. But I've given you some ideas there on concealer, some concealers that I like and use. Yeah, so I've concealed my nose with something that's actually filmed the eye, but it doesn't matter, because makeup, I've actually got lipstick on my cheeks today. The lipstick I'm wearing here is here. So makeup can be, you can improvise, and you don't have to use it for what it's exactly for. So with that in mind, have a great day, stay safe and take care.